So you're a 3.7k support player, and this is of an OD game that happened this weekend. So yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Right.
How long have you been playing with these guys?
Not very long. This is I'm a sub player as well, so our two support players have like heavy work schedules, so they tend to miss some time. So like uh, one of them missed our last game, our last set of games, and then this scrim some or this game we had the opposite one miss. So I kind of like am playing a few different characters. Um, and yeah, I've only been on the team for like a few weeks now. So
Okay. Have you played on any other teams before?
yeah, I was on a Diamond 3K team, and then
Got
uh
better.
you know
Yeah.
yeah, I got better, and so they thought about putting me on their masters team, but it's kind of a scuffed team. So and I was still kind of steady climbing, and I needed I'd ring for these guys a few times, and they needed another support player, so they decided to just have me learn with the team and see if I can keep being able to hang with these guys because all these guys are like 4.1k, 4.3,
Yeah.
something like that. So I'm trying to pick up the slack.
Okay. Cool. And I get the impression that you get to ring for them quite a lot as well. Then.
Yeah, I had done it like 2 or 3 times before I was actually officially on the team, and then it's been like 2 or 3 weeks now that I've been officially like the
Okay.
sub
And
role.
do you scrim 4 hours a day, 2 hours a day?
Um,
Depends.
no. So the team as a whole has a pretty heavy work schedule, so we probably get, I would say, 3 scrims a week, and what will be 2 to 3 hour scrim usually.
3 scrims a week, did you say? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
about 3 scrims a week for 2 to 3 hours.
Okay. So no one's really trying to go pro in Overwatch. It's more just for fun.
I mean, we have players that are, trying to at least get noticed because it's not like we're in a big org or anything.
Yeah.
But like our tanks are definitely want to get noticed. Basically, this is kind of like a stepping stone for, I guess I'd say, all of the other players on our team. Like they want to kind of get noticed from here and hopefully get picked up by a bigger org
Okay.
if they can.
Same for you.
I'd like to keep improving. I feel like there's a long way to go from that.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be great. But my next goal is to just get
Yeah,
into
GM.
GM
Yeah.
consistently.
Okay. Cool.
So
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
it's one goal at a time.
So this is just Anubis, right? Okay.
Yes, I have more from the full set of games, but this one was really close.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just hop right in. Um. So this is actually the comp we roll out on, which is interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, so I can give you some. So this is actually the last game of the entire. This is the very last game. Um, we're down 1-2. So we kind of usually we would run like a standard spam comp, double shield, Hanzo May, Zen,
Yeah.
Bap.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we kind of threw that out the window because it felt like we were kind of getting rolled on it. We had gotten rolled on like Kings Row, and it just didn't feel like we were working.
Yeah. Yeah.
Their DPS players are really good, so we were losing kind of like the one-on-one Hanzo duels and stuff like that. Um, so towards the end here, we kind of decided, hey, let's just play what we're comfortable on. So this is kind of where we went. Earlier, I was playing Ana instead of Bap, and then we were playing Soldier as well. But
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of what this would normally look like. But it's kind of, and you'll see the picks. The tanks pretty much stay the same. It's mostly the DPS players that start to mix it up a little bit. It kind of gets all over
Yeah.
the place.
Okay.
But
Yeah. This is definitely an interesting interesting comp.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, that one's easy.
Um,
Just hook under the bridge.
Yeah, and I would typically talk about like, oh, what do you do in this comp? But this comp's interesting to say the least, and I think it's quite interesting to me that we play Baptiste here, actually.
Yeah, so earlier when we were playing on, I was consistently getting, you know, hard flanked on, and I was having a lot of trouble staying alive.
Yes.
Uh, I swapped to, I think I swapped to Moira on that one. They suggested playing Bap, so I just went with it since it's probably one of the characters that I play the most. So
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, shut.
Can you pull him?
Pulling up. Pulling left. I'm gonna run right. I'm running right. I'm running right.
So this section here, it's really hard to say if this is your fault, but you absolutely should have died here.
I'm running right. I'm running right. I'm running right.
What happened?
Your Lucio kind of takes the death for you, which is
rock.
pretty fortunate. Yeah. But there's kind of no world where you should make this rotation, right? And I don't think this is necessarily on you, but I think sometimes you have to realize,
I'm gonna run right. I'm running right.
like right now, at this distance, there's no way you're gonna make this rotation, right? Like there's actually no way that you're gonna make this rotation now. Your Orisa's just ditched you. And sometimes you just have to make that decision, like, okay, I just gotta stay here now. Because I don't think you had another play in this position, right? Like, sure, your Lucio dies, but it should have been you. Like, absolutely should have been you here. Like I say, it's kind of a miscommunication, kind of your tank's fault too.
I'm gonna run right. I'm running right. I'm running right.
What happened?
But you're completely exposed this whole time, right? There's no way you should have made this cross.
Okay.
What a stop. What a stop half. What a
Come on,
stop.
Bap.
Okay. So
What a stop. What a stop half.
we used our shift. So great that you don't over peek here, right?
What a stop. What a stop half. What a
Come on,
stop.
Bap.
The second this shield comes out, this is your opportunity to play aggressive, right? You want to get some damage into them. You're not just a healer, and it's really, really important as Baptiste that you're not afraid to shoot the shit out of people, right? You can frag hard. You do more damage than Soldier, right? You are a DPS. You have the capabilities to kill people very, very comfortably. There's no excuse not to be playing aggressively. Especially right now, you have immortality. You know that they're all over the other side of this bridge, right? The MO here is going to be really strong for you guys. There's no way they can kill it, right? So don't be afraid to play aggressive. Especially this is going to come off cooldown soon, right? So you can heal yourself up after this if you do play aggressive.
Okay.
And I think at this point, kind of lose the presence of mind a little bit. They're now pushing you on both sides. You're trying your best to heal your ball here. Your wrist is getting hard focused at the same time, right?
Right.
So you got to bear that in mind. Because your wrist is going to die pretty much immediately here. Oh no, he doesn't. No, he lives. He should have died. He should have died. Like, there's actually no way.
Come on, Bap. Bap.
Junk one. Junk one. Junk one. Can you slam
Jump
jump?
right in there.
Junk one. Junk one. Junk one. Junk one. I'm rotating high.
This is a nice rotation.
What happened?
It's really...
So you can't. It's unfortunate you can't hear any of my comms. I guess I had my mic turned off, but so you can hear everybody else's comms, but not mine. I told them that we're getting chased right now, so they turned around.
Yeah, so... I mean, I can show you afterwards, but I think... Were you using OBS? Or Shadowplay?
I was using Streamlabs.
Okay. Well, we can talk about it afterwards anyway, because...
So I have a mic on my desk, which was just on mute. That's what I usually use. So
Okay. Yeah, I mean, because you
So
can
I-
also mute your line, and just mute your microphone by accident, but it's okay. So this rotation is super messy as well, right? I don't know again whether this is this is also a miscommunication from your tank, which really sucks, because a lot of these mistakes like really hurt you as BAP, right? Again, you should be dead, like 100% dead. Your tank like literally couldn't give any less shits about you, right? He's just like, I really want my Baptiste dead. He's doing his absolute best to kill you, but not quite throwing hard enough. And same again here, right?
They're rotating a point. They rotated up.
You peek out here
Just trying to get in
with
the back.
no information, right? Your team hasn't.
Yeah, to the right.
You're completely exposed, right? I don't even know what composition they're playing right now because you haven't pressed tab. So
That's true.
I'm pretty sure you don't know what they're playing either.
Right.
And this is kind of like a big. The tunnel vision is pretty clear here to me, right? And maybe it's clear to you too. You're literally just healing, right?
Yeah.
You haven't shot a single bullet at all. You're so focused on trying to keep people alive that you're losing sight of literally everything else. And I don't know whether it's like the pressure to perform in a higher scrim, or I don't know, something else. But you're really focused on trying to keep these guys alive, right? And you're losing sight of what you want to do as a Baptiste.
Okay. That's fair. That's definitely true. Sometimes I feel like maybe I'm playing too fast, or maybe I'm playing a little bit too passively because it is a higher level. It's a little bit above where I'm at. So
yeah, so I mean, you just can't let that pressure get to you, right? Like, forget about it. It doesn't matter what. It's just a number, man. Literally doesn't mean anything. And something that holds a lot of people back is they just focus on the number and don't focus on playing well. Because, like I say, right, you come out this door, you're completely exposed to right side. You could have been dead here. I don't know. I have no idea what their comp is. If I don't have any idea, you probably don't have any idea at this moment in time, right? Because you're also having to play the game. We're literally just chilling here, watching the VOD for taking all this time. I have no idea. Knew they had a Junkrat, right? I'm guessing their other DPS is an Ash or something like that, some sort of hit scan, right? And chances are they're on that other high ground opposite you. You should be dead. Again. This time, not your main tank's fault. This immo's nice. It could have been slightly better placed. If it had been behind the shield, it would have been marginally better, but it doesn't really matter. You're in a room taking a crazy fight. But the same point we've made already, right? So you can shoot and heal at the same time, right? So heal, shoot, 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 heal, shoot, 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 heal, shoot, shoot, shoot. It takes a bit of practice to get the timing perfect, but there is essentially no downtime. And that's what you should be doing in this situation. At this point, there's no excuse not to be, right? Since you can do both, why would you not do both? You're just losing that damage output that you could be giving.
I gotcha.
So heal, shoot, 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 heal, shoot, 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 right? Heal, shoot the big, heal, shoot the zig. Oh yeah, so there is some hit scan because we just see their bullet whistle pop. Widow? I think it's a Widow, but for some reason she's still on the platform. So you should have been dead, right? Essentially, when you rotated out here in the first place. This is great though. You're actually behind your tank this time. And I think this is pretty good use of your square, other than the fact that half of their team are dead. So this fight's already won, right?
Yeah.
So this is the same thing where you're losing the awareness of everything else that's going on around you because you're focusing so hard on just keeping people alive, right? You're like, I've got to keep people alive. I've really, really got to keep people alive. There's so many other things that you've got to be thinking about. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we've got to be aware of the enemy positioning, doing damage to people, right? I don't know if you're focusing really hard on your mechanics as well. Maybe that's part of it. But the whole heal, shoot, shoot, shoot thing's really, really important as well. And being aware of the opponent positioning and not rotating out into them like that. Because, like I said, you could well have been punished for that.
Yeah, I probably am reaching a little bit just because, like I said, this is like the last game. We have to win this one, or it's game over. We're down.
Yes, that's true.
So that's probably playing into it too. So I'm making mistakes just by the pressure of that instead of just playing.
Definitely, but this will only and these kind of games are great because they will really show you where your faults are. Right? This is you playing on 100%, right?
Yeah.
And it just shows that these things aren't second nature, right? And that's what you want them to be, like your mechanics. You don't want to have to think about your mechanics, right? You want to be able to think about what's going to happen, you know, some sort of plan. How are you going to play aggressive? How are you going to play passive if you need to? Where, like, I don't know, do you need to get to a health pack? There's some way you can make a hero play, whatever, right? You don't want to have to think about what you're doing. That stuff needs to be automatic. You want to be thinking about more like kind of planning stuff, right?
Right.
Even at this level, right? Getting towards 4K, those are the kind of things you want to be thinking about.
Can we go right? Can we go right?
I got pulse.
Moving main.
So this isn't, there's literally nothing you could have done about this. And you know what, right? I watched this before, and there is literally nothing wrong with your mechanics. It's a real shame that you don't spend enough time shooting at the opponents in this VOD. This is better, where you have a couple of shots there, right? But you're way too scared to peek this guy, right? You've got an Orisa shield here, and an Orisa that's going to be stood in front of you, and he's full HP, and you're still healing him when you could have peeked out and done damage, right? And this is a great opportunity to do that. If your team are full HP, you don't need to heal them, right? You're just wasting your time.
Right. Yeah.
Are we in mines? We're going left.
Give him no abilities.
Hold on.
And so this is kind of the opposite, right? Nice that you have the presence of mind to shoot, but you then expose yourself to the whole enemy team, right?
Abilities.
Hold on.
Yeah.
There's now, I mean, you don't know, right? At this point in time, you couldn't know how many people there were peeking this. You should be dead again, right? I don't know if you managed not to die.
We're gonna rush left.
There's Zen happens to not be aiming in the right place at the right time, basically.
Yeah.
Fox, tell us when you're going in with mines.
Right, so it's just having that presence of mind to think, okay, look, the enemies are shooting here. I mean, they were already spamming down main, right, at your ball.
We're going left.
Yeah.
Like, they shot your Orisa. There's a Zen fucking doo-doo-doo-doo, and then they're still shooting this.
Do not die. Do not die.
The Sigma stood close. You could have got punished, right? It's just taking a risk when you don't need to, because you could well have, right? We'll just play it back. For instance, you could have stayed here, and shot this Orisa when she came, right? And jump over, which is probably a smarter play, right? You can just use your jump, and you can completely avoid giving LOS through this door, right? You could have crouched around here, which was fine, which is what you were going for, right?
Yeah, and I got
Greedy.
tunnel vision.
It's just greedy, right?
Yeah,
because you
greedy.
didn't even have to overpeak this. You could well have so for instance, like here, have the pillar as your cover, shoot the Orisa until she goes back, and then go to your team, right?
Mhm.
Hold on.
It's really unfortunate that your ball doesn't com this, because your team were well in position to go around here and capitalize, but you know, so.
We're gonna rush left.
We're not here to talk about your team. We're here to talk about you. Although I'm going to repeatedly flame your main tank, given that he's almost killed you multiple times now, and they were pretty significant mistakes.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get a chance to do that again. So similar thing. We've had this before already, right? You see a guy critical, gotta heal him, and you completely forget that there's going to be people pushing you from the left here, right?
Mhm.
I need healing mine, then I'm going.
So they're now walking in. They're taking all this space. Right, you can't heal your ball until he's in your LOS.
Fox, tell us when you're
He,
going
she,
with mines.
whatever pronouns they want to use. You can't heal them until they come to you, right? You don't even know if your ball's going to come to you. They might just path out and go to Mega. That's a very typical play for a ball. They don't really want to be bothering your healers. Ball is a very solo queue kind of play style. It's really important that they're capable of using the health packs, right?
Right.
Just be shooting main, right? Everyone's full HP. Your ball's not your problem until they ask for heals. So you shoot main.
Is it kind of a waste if the ball like comes back to me and I just use shift?
No,
And
I think
like that's it?
that's
Or is that
if your team are pushing in simultaneously, it's fine. Otherwise, yes, you are probably losing quite a bit of value.
okay? Yeah, yeah.
If
that
it's
makes sense.
just
Yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
ball, yeah, you don't really want to just be using shift for them, right?
Right.
That depends. If your team's already engaged in a fight and they're taking damage, then yeah, absolutely, right? Because it's an AoE heal. The more people you heal with it, the more effective the more you, the more value you've got out of the ability, right? If there's 6 people low HP, huge. Right. You just like, it's great. But if it's just the ball, no.
Right.
Give him a heal. Shoot at the enemies if you can. Doing a great job, right?
I need healing mine, then I'll go in. Do mine,
and I think this is a difficult one. Because your Orissa's conceded a load of space that they really shouldn't have done. But they capitalize on this, right? They realize that the space is there, and they make the call to hard push you guys. And I don't think there was a way of you, as an individual, avoiding getting killed here. You just happened to get rocked through the middle of your team.
Our deeps are already dead. We don't have any damage for it.
Only thing you could have done, I guess, is throwing your immortality down. Because you could put it here, right? I don't know if it pokes over. Ever tested.
Are you drawing?
Drawing, can you see this?
No, I cannot.
Oh.
Let me refresh.
Okay. Let me in.
It's loading.
Oh, I need to play.
Okay, I'm back in.
You see James?
Ah, there we go.
See this?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Someone took the mega. I need healing mine, then I'll go in. Do mine,
Yeah, so this at this point, this is a good time to immo, right? This Orisa has committed past your Orisa's shield. He's like, we're winning this fight. I've won this fight. In fact, he has decided that this fight is already won for him. So he's just walking in, right? When they're bringing this level of aggression, it's almost certainly a good time to put down your immo. Even if it means that they're just going to instantly kill it, it may give you enough time. But at this point, there's nowhere for you to back up to, right? There's no hard cover for you to get to. And at the same time, you've exposed yourself to the little door that's down here, right? Which you didn't realize. Same as we've had before, right? You're kind of exposing yourself to enemies when you don't need to. So you just get shot on the side here. It's a nice flank by the Zen, to be totally honest, but it's
yeah.
It's also poor awareness of that, right? Because you didn't have to go outside, right? You could have gone back this way.
Yep.
I'm gonna swap Reaper.
I'll just skip to the next fight.
Stick with the team, and I'm just gonna like blow up their tanks.
Yeah. You ready?
Yeah, I'm here.
Bringing out Reaper.
That was unfortunate.
Yeah, I'm here.
Just this little bump. Doesn't matter, but if they'd happened to fuck up their pull, and they'd been looking to pull you guys as you came through that choke, which isn't that uncommon, right? They can pull rock while you guys are rotating. You could well have got caught there.
So I'm pretty sure I'm calming to them that I want an ult here. I mean, take space down
Okay,
main.
yeah, that works. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Exposed.
Very, right. So like I want to, so this is how the comms go in my head, right? I want a window main, window main, 3, 2, 1 window, right? And that way everyone peeks around at the same time, your window goes down and someone just instantly blows up because of the window, right? But I can tell you with pretty high degree of certainty that you didn't give a countdown here, right? It's like, I want a window main, I'm going to 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 window main, going to window main, and then it just like happens to pop up at some point in that call. And there's no way that they make a concerted push, right? Like, okay, I'm going to window main, 3, 2, 1, window. That window's also really deep. It doesn't need to be this deep, right?
Okay.
And in fact, a much safer thing to do would have been to window from here, and you could have windowed like this. Yeah. And this is absolutely fine, right? Because your team can still all stand in this space and shoot through it. And it's absolutely fine, right? And you then didn't have to swing around the corner and expose yourself to the enemy team. And the real issue with this window is they could have just walked through it, right? And then you wouldn't have got any value from it. They could have just decided to hold close, which they should have been doing anyway. If they're going to hold close, they want to be up against the hard cover, either here or on the left side. So that window was too deep, right? Because if they'd walked through it, you get no value from it. And then essentially you've just wasted an ult. But they give up the space anyway.
One kill.
Breaking line, breaking line.
Kill.
Go left, I'm sorry, left, 1. Go W, go W, go W.
On the right, then on the right.
I like this reposition though. This is really nice.
You're up with Bob. Rest.
Stay left. One, chase her left, 1.
Sorry, I just want to watch this again.
We're pulling.
One kill.
Breaking line.
Kill.
Go left, I'm sorry, left, 1. Go W.
On the right, then on the right.
Doom.
You're up with Bob. Rest.
Stay left. One, chase her left.
How many times did you shoot the enemies?
Once.
Once. Right?
Once in trans, so I kind of gave up.
So the reposition's nice to high ground, but it's only nice because it's going to give you angle over the shield to shoot the shit out of people, right?
You're up with Bob.
And then this is fine, but we can peek out, shoot the enemies, right? Everyone's full HP. You're good, right? These guys could do a bit of healing, but okay, let's peek out, shoot the enemies, and drop a couple of heals in. Great, right?
Rest.
And this whole time, you could have been shooting at the enemy team, as well as healing yours, right?
All right.
One, chase her left, 1.
And you know, you had immo this whole time, and you didn't get any value out of it, right?
Yeah.
You could have just put your immo on this corner and peeked out. If you're that worried about getting instantly one shot.
Yeah. I guess what I've had, feel like I've had it happen to me too many times where I use it to save somebody or I use it to be aggressive, and then as soon as I do that, it goes down, and then some like a case where I could have saved us from a Sigma ult or something like that immediately happens after. So I feel like I get punished for trying to use it aggressively.
So that's about awareness, right? Knowing what ults they have
Ult
exactly,
tracking.
right? And if you know they have Sigma ult, or they have Pulse Bomb, or they have, I don't know, Mines, Reaper ult, basically any ult that can do any sort of damage, you probably want to be saving it, right? It's about playing conservatively when you need to, and playing aggressively when you can. Because you had the opportunity to do it here, right? If they were gonna ult, they would have done it before this point. They're already like backed into a corner. How are they going to capitalize on? So okay, so let's just summarize the points that we had in that half. Otherwise, I'll forget as we move forward. I've got a brain like a sieve. Okay, so first thing we saw was just overexposing yourself to the enemies, right? So put that into an actionable point, right? So be aware of the opponent's positioning, right? Opponent positioning, and maintain hard cover. All right. Avoid being in their LOS, right? I guess avoid being in their LOS. Is that point clear? Okay.
Yes.
What would you say the next one is?
So we said the LOS. I was gonna say taking unnecessary risks.
Okay, I mean that kind of goes with the LOS, right?
Right. What was the first one?
Be aware of opponent positioning and avoid being in their LOS.
Okay. So opponent positioning, LOS, doing damage and healing at the same time, or just more damage in general.
So remember, you also have huge damage output. Don't be afraid to DPS, right? Absolutely essential on Baptiste, right? You have crazy damage. If you're not shooting at the enemies, you're missing out on value, right? You can do both, right? You can heal and DPS simultaneously. Anything else? I think those are kind of the two big points. We did we
Yeah.
see you use lamp at all? Once.
I used it in the beginning on first point, yeah, and then no, because I got hit by the Zenyatta in the back on the first push when they pushed hard in to the cave area, and then we won the next fight, I think.
So you probably had the opportunity
And I
to
did.
use the lamp in the cave push, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So using lamp to mitigate their aggression, right? Use lamp to mitigate opponent aggression.
I feel like I could have also used it when I jumped onto that high ground to use it for
Yes, you definitely could have done.
my teammates in there. Well, I'm saying my teammates that were in that trans that were
going really deep.
That forced the trans out. Yeah.
I think that would have been a bit deep. You wouldn't have got very much value from that lamp because they would have just killed it instantaneously. And it's probably not going to save anyone if they don't have an ability to get out, right? Because they're literally in the middle of the enemy team. The only thing that's going to save them at that point is your team going hard, doing their best to get them out if they don't have anything to get themselves out, which they did in that. But yeah, using lamp to mitigate opponent aggression. You can't use it if you're dead, right? I think that's kind of the key point. Don't save lamp.
Right.
You know, your life is more important than saving it, right?
It's like dying with the ultimate.
Yeah. Can't use lamp if you are dead. And that's one of the reasons why you shouldn't be afraid to use lamp for yourself. Don't worry, I'm going to edit that list. I've just posted it up this, but I'll edit it as we go on.
Okay.
So, I imagine we're almost certainly going to see that we're not aware of the opponents as much as we should be on defense, but maybe not, because it's different when you're playing aggressively, right? When you're pushing, it's easier to lose sight of them because you've got to move, right? Whereas on defense, you kind of know where they are, right? You're much more aware of where they are because you're typically moving around them and not the other way around. So maybe we won't see that. But we're probably not going to see enough damage coming out.
We're going to see it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you noticed that yourself. I mean, that's good self-reflection.
Yeah. The tanks are kind of... I'm going to pay too much attention to where the tanks and where the majority of their team is. That's what's going to happen.
Why start up here?
I dropped. I just
chilling?
stood up here for a second, just to see to hear what they come out with. They come out with Widow or something, or yeah.
So,
oftentimes I like to start on the little ledge right behind me.
Okay. One great reason to stand here, simply because your Orissa's there. And if you're stood with your Orisa, you can shoot at the enemies. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm playing way too passive. And I don't always play like this, but I guess...
The pressure just gets to you, right? But, this is it, but you're now actually giving them a higher chance to win, right? Because if you're not doing damage to them, then their shields are going to stay up longer, and they're therefore going to, you know, they're going to win the shield war, basically. Which gives them a much higher chance to win. So missing out on that damage here makes that rotation much easier for them. Yeah, okay. So, like you say, I don't think we're really aware this could happen, but you also...
Yeah, that's never happened to me before, so that was totally surprised by that. I was so confused what was even happening.
I don't know if he just walks up here, or whether he's taken, like, gone up the top and come around from Mega side.
I think he did Sonic the edge right there, and then just climbed up there. I think that's.
But you had the opportunity to use lamp, right? Very brief, mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm thinking too much.
Yeah, right. And I think this whole time you're not. And part of the reason why we only ever saw one lamp was because you're playing so passively, right? You're not giving yourself the opportunity to lamp, and they're already on point, and we've still got both our abilities. Right, so something's gone wrong. And it's not
Yeah.
just you. I think maybe the pressure's getting to everyone.
I got both the heals dead. Hold on.
You only down
Yeah,
one.
the game before this didn't go very
Mhm.
well.
Being frozen.
Part of the reason why we're playing question mark comp. I imagine.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
he bodied. Wait, I died to Orisa from around the corner? What?
But we definitely should have been DPSing there, right? That first choke. I mean, you can't miss, right? There's kind of no. There's never
Yeah.
a reason to not be DPSing here. And at this point, your team's basically got. Sorry, you carry on.
Oh no, I would let you finish.
No, it doesn't matter. I can say my point after because I was moving on to another point.
Sorry, I was gonna say if I was standing up there like you said doing damage, I would have been able to see the Hanzo walking forward. That was eventually gonna shoot
Right,
me in
and
the
you would
back.
have had that information. Exactly, yeah. In both of those things. And you, I mean, you could have used your lamp if you needed to, right? And you could just stand behind your Orisa and use your shift. You're fine. So long as you're aware of what your Orisa's doing when your Orisa's going back, the HP of their shield, you've still got that pillar to stand behind, right? But you don't need to be that far back because you're just missing out on all the damage you could be doing. Okay.
Okay.
And we've made this point already, right? But it's good that it's kind of come up on repeat because we'll just keep on sticking it into your head, right? We'll just keep on saying it.
Yeah.
So, your team's kind of switched to a dive comp here, right? They're playing Tracer and Doomfist, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, because James goes Doomfist.
Okay, we hold this.
So, maybe we should have swapped from
Free pause here,
Baptiste.
You might want to switch to May. I'll keep
Um,
him May.
This is kind of a macro
Yeah.
thing, right? But it's gonna be you're gonna have a hard time playing Bap now, essentially, because they can walk onto you now.
In May.
Oh, actually, you've gone May.
Right, we can
Did we
pull
go
through,
May?
okay?
Soldier.
They're going main?
I
May.
think so.
Yeah, it does say May. Same thing again here. Said it
Pulling right,
multiple
in
times
May.
now.
When they go right, we can pull
We're not
through.
shooting. And there was a moment where your Orisa is playing main with the
Free
shield,
pause here, we might want to switch to May.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
May.
I like that you take this pathing. That's fine, right? It's safe. You're not gonna get picked. But now you want to be shooting, right? And you know you only have to peek out the tiniest little bit, right? Get some shots into their shield, slow them down a little bit. Everyone's damage matters, right? Because if everyone's playing this scared of getting picked, no one's gonna shoot at the enemies, right? They're just gonna walk onto you for
Yeah.
free.
You just need to look for walls and right in May. When they go right, we can pull them through, okay?
They're going main?
And you also have no information because you haven't peeked, right? You could be jumping right now. There's no excuse not to be. You this is why you've got the grav boots or whatever they're called, Baptiste. You don't have to jump
Yeah.
that high, right?
Okay.
I'm not saying jump up to here because in the time that you fall down, they can probably headshot you. But just a little peek,
Right.
right? Just a poop. Have a little gander. See what's going on over here, right? Like, oh look, someone's
Yeah.
dropping. Someone's going left side. You could have maybe scouted people going right side that you didn't know, right? You could be getting flanked right now, for all you know.
Yeah.
Who knows, right?
Orisa.
And now you're doing some damage. This is nice. But you could have done this the whole time.
Play safe, don't get yourself
The whole time that you're walking up.
Okay, back up. What's the 1 HP?
So I'm really scared of someone coming on your right side at this point. And you aren't even
Yeah.
looking for it.
Come on, May.
And you have no information, right? No information at all. They could well be flanking you on this right side here.
Yeah, I did just jump up there and see them half their team
Yeah,
over there,
exactly,
too.
right?
Come on, right. Come on.
Don't know about this. And
Yeah, I couldn't even. I just wasted it. I couldn't even really tell who it was. I just saw critical and I launched it.
Come on.
right.
So I'm just doing things. I don't really have a reason for them at this
It's
point.
basically an ultimate, right? As you know, like 25 seconds it's harsh. Every lamp has to be basically perfect. It's so hard, you know. So hard. When it's this long, like it's really punishing if you get one wrong, and you really need to stall time, right? You've got Orisa here. She's alive. I'd just be putting your lamp here when you need to, right? Just saying, play left side, Orisa, like whatever your Orisa's called. I don't know. You probably got on easier than rather calling him Orisa because it's too long to say. Jeff, right? Jeff, play left side. I'm gonna lamp the thing, depending on what your call out is for this.
Okay. The
Statue, yeah. Yeah, I always call it sarcophagus, but that's way too long. I don't know why the fuck I call it that.
Yeah.
It's actually stupid.
Hunting.
You're just getting raped by this ball.
Come on, Hanzo.
Okay, yeah.
wall. I'm sorry.
Hey, me. Hunting, hunt.
And at this point, I think we've conceded so much space that you probably wanted to move in this room.
Yeah,
'Cause-
they do it late.
yeah, exactly right.
Hold on, though. How's it going?
It wouldn't have saved your life here. You're gonna die regardless. You're too many people down. But just that presence of mind, you know, someone could have gone around left side. I think you could probably see 6 people on point actually, but
Alright, Bongo.
you know, it just takes one Zen to come around and go bloop, 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 and just headshot you with 6 balls, and you're like, okay, well,
Almost there in two.
that was shit.
Fine.
We're gonna see like a really nice immo here.
That's just
No.
Bongo.
No, it wasn't. No, that was fine. That was acceptable.
Oh, immortality. My bad. I was thinking.
Oh, immo. Sorry. Do you call it lamp or immo? I can call it.
Yeah, I call it
Okay, yeah,
lamp.
we usually call it lamp. Sorry, I sometimes call it immo as well.
So many names for
Yeah.
it. People
Well,
call it
immo
drone.
short for immortality. It's just because
Yeah.
immo is really really easy to say. Lamp takes more movement of your mouth, so it's actually a quicker call to say immo than it is to say lamp.
Okay.
'Cause-
Yeah, I've used
Yeah.
demo before, but when I've done it in rank, some people have no idea what I'm talking about, but they seem to know what lamp
Okay.
is. So
Yeah, most people know.
I switch back and
Yeah.
forth.
That's just hot. They use Bongo.
But this is fine. This immortality was fine.
Then.
It's not right there. Left side.
Well, I don't know about that square though.
Yeah.
You're just getting
Then.
It's not right there.
gone on by this ball, right?
Then you get
finished by the Hanzo. It's difficult in this stall situation, but I probably wasn't worth staying Baptiste here. Simply
Okay.
because it's a stall situation, right? And because of the heroes that they're playing. Moira's always good, right? Moira's just OP. Anna's great simply because anti-nades are just broken. I mean, you know, Anna's not that great, but anti in a stall situation is incredibly powerful. Baptiste is fine, I guess, since you've got your ult.
Yeah. If I would have known he was coming out on that side,
You
I
would have gone with him,
on that
right?
side.
Yeah. And it's kind of, again, I think everyone kind of panics a little bit.
Play point, just play point. We're working on stall right now.
I have mine here in a second.
That buff? Fuck, I pressed right click.
Yeah, he died just a
But,
second after
yeah,
me.
I'm
so
gonna go
he
left
should be going
side.
back
I'm going
now.
left side. You probably said that in comms, I don't know. But like heals coming left side is a pretty great call in these kind of situations, right? Because then everyone hopefully puts himself in your LOS as you come around this corner, and you can make everyone live a little bit longer,
Okay.
right? Like heals left side,
Hunting.
and that way your ball maybe doesn't do this. Maybe your ball is in a slightly better position for you. They may not have had the opportunity to do so, but at least you've given the option to them, right? By giving them the information.
Gotcha.
Almost there in two.
He's still one. That's one main.
Fine.
And hopefully your
I have mine here.
your main tank would have been with you.
That's just hot. They use Bongo. Bongo.
On then.
It's not right there. Left side.
Coming out left.
Mining.
These trends.
Hunzo one.
Rolling heals.
Okay, we go Moira now. So that's okay.
Stalled out.
I'm dead. Next person.
I'm on.
Jim's touching next.
Yep. We just play for stall.
So, she's
dead.
all said.
Okay.
I'm in.
Steven it.
You touch.
I touched. I'm dead.
I'm in. I'm on Zen. Zen one.
This was really well played. Just putting it out there. You did exactly the right thing here, right? Just chilling. Waiting for your opportunity.
They're 2 down. We should win this.
You got Mega?
Standpoint.
May one.
Nice. Good job, dude.
Dude.
I should have got heals.
Oh, that's okay. I think you did the best you could, right?
They're 2 down. We should win this.
You got Mega?
And that heal orb was the selfless play. Although you should have just gone back, yeah, like you say here, you should have just gone back into spawn.
Nice. Good job, dude.
Dude.
But James clutches up, so that's nice.
Ball.
Back.
Mine's again. Hunzo main.
You switch now. I'm switching. Just gonna only me.
Why are we swapping?
I don't think I actually I think I'm just thinking about it. I don't think I actually swapped.
It's not just you. People are talking about swapping in your chat.
I'm switching. Just gonna.
Oh, they want to swap off Ball Diva.
Okay.
Down Ursa.
Oh,
I'm saying ball is fine. Everything else is fine. This
I
comp
think-
is more than executable on this point. Okay, we do stay
Yeah,
it,
we
and
just
this is
swapped it
fine.
out.
No, I'm glad you didn't swap, right? Like 90% to coalescence, it would have been absolutely insane to swap.
Don't get caught out. Don't get caught out.
Especially when they've only got to get 1 tick. And sustain is going to be really important for you, right, into this next fight.
They're going right.
Because you just can't lose.
Another one. Another one. Another one.
He's Lucio now.
They're all on left. Speeding out.
Back main.
Pulling out. Pulling.
I'm gonna look for a boo.
Lots of them on left. They're all on left.
We're slamming.
Lots of them on left. They're all on left.
We're slamming.
More half.
Okay. We're just main. Main.
That's a really strange reposition.
Yeah, I didn't. I was again not paying attention to their positioning. I didn't think there was. I actually thought there was nothing over there that could do anything to me.
Despite the fact that 6
So
people
I
are in his
thought
face right now.
because May.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, May and Sigma were pushing the
Main.
our Orisa, so I was like, oh, what can kill me? There's nothing over here. And
It's more the movement
Hanzo
before this,
comes-
right? If this Orisa is able to stand in this corner, so are you,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
You could have died anywhere in this rotation across from the shield to this.
I gotcha.
And you just have to keep your Orisa alive. You know? Like, you don't have any other play but to play with your Orisa.
Slamming. More half. Okay. We're just main.
So, I don't know. Like, yeah, it's terrible.
More half.
But if I was you, probably would have just stayed stuck in this corner with your Orisa.
Okay.
And not used Coalescence. Because the May can freeze you.
Gotcha.
And you just stall in this corner as long as you
Right.
can, right? Hopefully your Orisa puts the shield right up in the corner. The two of you just chilling in it. I don't know. It's going to be terrible, but it's going to make some time, right? It's gonna make a little bit of space. Hopefully your team's going to stay alive as long as possible.
We're just main.
But yeah, you kind of put yourself in the middle of where the opponent team were,
May one. May one.
and then you coalesce, which is,
We're slamming.
I think, part of the issue here, right? As well. I guess you don't really have many other options, but given that you put yourself in the middle of the opponent team, using coalescence is generally a bad play.
Okay.
Part of the reason as well why you should have stayed with the Orisa, because you're not really getting that much value from this coalescence, right? You're only healing the Orisa. You're doing a bit of damage to their Orisa. They're not that creeped up. Coalescence is much better used for an aggressive play. It's not really a defensive ult, right? Because it doesn't do that much healing.
Right.
And on top of that, you put yourself in the middle of the opponent team and you use coalescence. Not only are you not going to be able to use your fade in 5 seconds, but you also can't use your orb, which is going to help keep you alive.
Right.
And you can't do your AD, crouch, right? And just be really impossible to hit because Moira has a stupid hitbox as well.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what you want to be doing here. But you weren't really aware enough of the Sanzo anyway. Okay, let's see how this plays out anyway.
I have mine here.
Definitely possible. Clutchable.
We're going into stall mode again.
That's huge mine.
Oh, that's sad.
Calling target.
Let's crouch on the point.
Left.
I died.
Point. Okay. Even next.
I died.
Point. Okay.
Yeah. Just listening to comms here. I didn't realize there's somebody else that could touch.
Yeah.
Diva.
Diva D-Mac. Diva
It's
So
like
I
a whole
just-
queue. There's a queue of people waiting to touch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got kind of.
we got a line
Yeah.
going.
Well, which is good, and that's how it should be. If you don't have enough people, if you don't have 6 people, then that's the smartest way to do it, actually.
I'm speeding out left.
Now, I think what's interesting to me is you see both these guys come out, and instead of fading over to them, which I understand would have put you in open space, but you probably could have put yourself like down on the stairs, right? I just feel like you could have got support from them rather than going back into the into dark,
Okay. Diva next.
or even worse,
Yeah,
into the
that's-
center of the opponent team.
Yeah, it's kind of
D-Mac. Diva died.
I don't think I actually saw them.
Mhm. Yeah, I understand. You're just focused on stalling it, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so we definitely saw the fact that we're doing damage here, right? as bad.
Mm-hmm.
So that gets to be going in bold now. That's good. Okay. Using your jump to scout, which you could have done, right? Would have given you a little bit more value when you were playing the second defense. So using jump, using crouch jump. Scout. Anything else? Some of those points are very hard to generalize. I'll be totally honest. So.
I can't think of anything. Some of the points that we already talked about. It's the same
Most of
things.
it is, right? The positioning, making sure that you're not putting yourself where you can get shot in the back. Maybe. No, I think that's kind of it. A lot of the same stuff, right? You're just playing too scared. And it's not giving you enough opportunities to do things. Because we're not seeing you really getting you to see. We're not really getting the opportunity to use lamp kind of proactively, right? You're not making aggressive plays with your lamp. It's always, oh shit, we're gonna die. I've got to use lamp.
Just double check. Ask yourself, should I be here?
If they're gonna push in.
So we can't shoot the opponents from here. We've said this before.
Yep.
I like how you don't even flinch when you get hit by that Moira orb. I would have literally shit the bed. Right?
Yeah.
Like for me, that would have been, oh my god, there's a Hanzo flanking me, I'm so dead.
Yeah.
Instead, you're like, oh,
I definitely
I just
felt
took
it.
some damage. And like slow, you're like, I'll just keep it here. Oh, is that? Oh, it's just a Moira orb. You're so like nonchalant about it, you know. When that could well have been something flanking, and you're just like, oh, it's just a Moira orb. You barely even check it. It like takes you a good second to think about. Oh wait, I just took some damage. Oh, it's a Moira orb. No worries. Is it a Moira orb? Oh, that was good. That was a good check. That was really good timing. But this is kind of a good if you hadn't checked this, if they had rotated there, you didn't have any information, right?
Yeah.
And
I wanted to stand up there from the start, expecting them to go main again, and I thought I would have, there was no way that I would gonna get picked off by the Hanzo there again. So, but I was definitely worried about them rotating that way.
That can't happen if you're stood here with your team, right?
Yeah.
And you can damage them when they cross, and you'll have the information that they're going to come from this way, so that you can reposition yourself like behind here, and then you put your lamp in a different position or something, right? It gives you more time to do stuff. You know, it takes time to think about what you should be doing and reposition accordingly. Because now you're in a really bad position, right? This is terrible.
Yeah. You're gonna say you should have been dead here. That's what
probably,
you're gonna say.
Right? A good team would have their Hanzo positioned in main at this point, right? Their team will be coming out this way, the Hanzo's here, and that way they've created a crossfire, right? So these guys are actually going to have a hard time because they're getting shot at from two angles. And you're definitely dead to the guy that's in main. Oh. You definitely should be dead here. I'm just really hoping that someone flies out like this Lucio and comes and kills you.
I died?
Two people in your team are dead, and you haven't used either of your abilities.
Okay.
Right, which isn't ideal. Okay, you had to use your shift. You used your shift for yourself. That's kind of okay. But we haven't had the chance here to use our ammo at all. And this isn't just on you. This is something you probably should talk about with your team, because you guys are not utilizing your ammo at all, right? And you've got to remember this is, right, Baptiste has been nerfed to dogshit tier. No, he hasn't. But he's been nerfed hard because this ability is completely broken, right? There's a reason it's completely broken, and there's a reason you've got to play around it because it's so good, right? We're not playing around it at all. There's no lamp spot here, right? There's no way you can use your lamp here. There's a way you can use your lamp if your team were here, right? Put it on the pillar. And then if we're all positioned here, we can... Or, if your team, for instance, they could play close in the corner, you can use your lamp in the corner. If they play here, then you can use the lamp either behind this pillar or on this, depending on which way they attack from, right?
Did you, I guess I need to refresh. I can't see.
Okay, that's fine. That's really sad. Okay.
You
Yeah, it's
said-
playing.
I could
I'll
tell you
pause
were-
it.
Push W?
Uh,
That's big, it's big, it's big, it's fine.
okay.
I'm fine.
It paused. You see a big scribble?
I can't. I'm still. Something's going wrong. Let me click the link
Okay.
again.
It has been playing up, I'll be honest. Insights has been playing up a little bit today. So
I just have a total black screen. Doesn't even show a video. Let me try something else.
okay, let me know when you're back in, and I'll just pause it. I'll play it and pause it. I'll just leave it paused now. Play it when you're back in.
So it's not loading up for me. I just have a
Okay,
blank
and it's not
screen.
doing anything now that I'm playing and I'm pausing.
No, like I just have a black screen. Like I can't see the website logo
Okay.
or that there's a video or
Just
a
have a
chat
look at this
screen.
then. Fine.
Okay.
You see the stream okay? Is it okay quality for you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Big wall. I'm on our side. Brick shields. Big boot. Huge line.
so we already said this positioning is crazy. So the point I was making about your lamps, right? Is if your team are in this position on bridge, there's nowhere that you can lamp the safe, right? There is no hard cover that you can put your lamp behind. Whereas if your team are controlling platform as their primary position, you have the option to lamp either behind the pillar, right? If the opponents are shooting from this direction, or behind the pillar on this side if the opponents are coming this direction. Your team also has the option to hold close, like your Orisa can turtle up in this corner, right? And you could also throw your lamp into that corner, right? But at this point in time, we're not playing around the lamp at all, right? There's no way that we're going to get value from a lamp with the way that you set up. And this rotation is really common, so you should have a plan in mind for what happens when they make this rotation, right? And the plan should definitely involve a position that's going to be good for lamp, right? Because lamp is OP. We want to be playing around lamp.
Okay.
I understand that you've only been with these guys for 2 weeks, right? But once you've kind of...
Yeah, I
Sorry.
mean,
Go.
no, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, I know that I want to use it around corners and walls, and that's something we've been told as a team. Whoever is playing the Baptiste, call out, hey, hold this corner so we can lamp here.
But it's not a dynamic play, right? It's not... well, okay, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's, can we stabilize on this corner? I'm going to use lamp. But most of the time, especially here, right? Especially
Brick shields. That's big, it's fine.
in a really conventional play like this, right? Where you know that the opponents are going to do this about 80% of the time, right? They're going to make that play. There should be a plan in place, right? We should know exactly how we're going to rotate, who's going to go where, and how we're going to play, right? So, like I said, typical play, team holds here, Hazard goes for a flank through window, right? And then Sigma can look for a flank coming here, just in case someone's trying to pressure it, right? That's like a very typical setup. I understand that we've gone like completely off the wall on this, but if you had a map strat, you probably wouldn't be going off the wall like this. So that just says to me that we're not prepared for Anubis, right? And we're already in, what, week 3 of OD? And you've only got a limited map pool, right?
Yeah.
So we should have some sort of plan. How we're going to execute this map. What people do usually, right? Okay, this is a really typical rotation. We should definitely have a plan here, right? We should definitely have a default position that we're going to hold. We know what our lamp spots are. We know when they push it, whether we're going to fall back, whether we're going to set up some sort of off angle, you know, whatever your plan's going to be, and it should involve lamp. And that was a macro point, right? because we've kind of seen you doing the same thing on repeat, so a bit more interesting to kind of make that point sometimes. And if this is a typical retreat, right, which I think it is for a lot of people, then you just throw this lamp here, right? Straight away.
Yeah.
You see these guys are getting fucked on. You're like, oh shit, they're probably going to die or be really low HP by the time they get here. Just put this lamp down. And yeah, the May could have walled it. Which would have fucked you. But you're probably fucked anyway, right?
Yeah.
I died?
Because actually this May wall's terrible. And if your lamp had been here, she would have, you guys would have been possibly okay. They would have lived a little bit longer.
A little bit install a little bit longer.
Maybe.
At least.
So no point trying to go back here, right?
Dying, so.
Play with your Orisa installed as long as possible. You get instant respawns now, right? This isn't old meta or old seasons where you didn't used to get respawns.
Keep falling.
Yeah, my thought here was if I can stay alive and we can slowly come back, I'll still be alive to heal people.
Stall for a couple seconds.
But it doesn't happen, and I just wait till the last second to die.
Need to get on or get out. Get out of cap.
This side is
God, that could have been really bad for you. If these guys were a little bit better, they would have left you.
Yeah.
And then this would have definitely been over, right?
Yeah.
Recontests on first point Anubis don't happen. I mean, I don't want to give a blanket statement because they do actually sometimes. I've seen it happen like maybe once or twice in my whole career. So essentially they might as well not happen, right? It's so uncommon.
They're gonna start pushing me. They're gonna push me. Big window.
That was a nice window. Oh look, you're shooting at people. This is fresh.
Wait.
That was good ammo. Well, definitely should have staggered him. Never mind. Just wondering if there's a better way we could have set up here. I think given your Orisa's positioning, you kind of had no other play. He was zoned by this dragon.
Yeah.
They're gonna start pushing me. They're gonna push me.
That was really manly not to use Immo, I'll be totally honest. I would have been like, this Orisa's so fucked, man. Like, he's got no hard cover, his shield's gonna get obliterated in half a millisecond, he's just gonna die. For some reason the enemies are all like, oh look at Doomfist, and their Moira's like, whoa, shoot these guys, and the Sigma's doing whatever the fuck he's doing. Fortunately the enemies also have no idea what they're doing. But if they were good, right, they would have seen, look, this Orisa's inting her shit off, let's shoot her. So just putting that out there, right, when you scrim better teams, I'm sure you appreciate this. People explode like really quickly when everyone shoots at them. You wouldn't have got the chance to put the lamp down on this Orisa in a contender scrim or something, right? She would have been dead, like just dead instantly.
Okay.
Fortunately, they're bad. I guess they're getting disrupted by the ball as well. But yeah, Orisa definitely should have got obliterated there. Oh, we should have staggered Sig, that's fine. But I definitely feel like we're still a tad conservative with the lamp usage, right? But having said that, maybe you haven't reached a point where you're going to get punished for it. In which case, you know, I don't want to tell you to adjust it because it might not be the right play for your skill level, you know. But in higher tier play, people that are out of position just get obliterated. This Orisa would be dead like literally 100% of the time. Oof. Someone's hyped. I'm really interested to see how this map ends, by the way. So this is This is a very meaningful match to everyone, I see.
Not okay. Pretty sure you got
It's just it's gotten to the point where because we won every game before that, so I guess this would be our first struggle.
Yeah, and I guess if you win, it's
So-
gonna. It feels good to beat a team that's actually good, right? It feels a lot better than.
Yeah,
Oh, we just rolled another diamond team. That was fun.
Go left over here
Yes.
if you're going
We're
Yeah.
gonna speed left as fast as we can, okay? Yeah, you guys go.
and that one guy was specifically hyped because he was the one losing the 1v1 Hanzo duels the whole time, so he was.
We're just going to whenever.
Ah,
happy
I
to,
see. Yeah, yeah.
When you come in,
Happy to
just
win.
call them, okay?
Okay.
Tell us when you're in position.
Yeah.
Are you
I'm
ready?
in position. I'm ready. Ready. Going.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go now. One.
Okay, this is nice.
On us.
That wall was really good from them.
3, 2, 1, go now. One.
Perfect.
It was also a bad lamp.
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go now. One.
Right? If someone stood in the middle of the opponent team, don't waste your 25-second cooldown on them. They're dead. Right? Simple
Yeah.
as that. Even if this lamp lands on him, that lamp is now in the middle of 6 bloody people, right? It's not going to last long enough to keep anyone alive. And they have May. So he's not going to get out, right?
Yeah, limping ball in general just seems like a bad idea now.
It's bad on anyone that's going to move anywhere, right? It's great for holding a position, or like, we want to push up to this corner. It's a bit aggressive to go on this corner, so we're going to use lamp when we're there, right? Or they're walking into us, we need to hold this position. Okay, we're going to use lamp, and that will force them to go back. It's not something to save people that stood in the middle of an opponent team.
Okay.
the DPS are on me, main.
There's one.
I don't think I can go in for a slam.
There's one.
Right, and let's say you had your immortality here, and you hadn't used it.
Okay.
After this, right, let's say you still had it now. You then have the ability, because you're only 1 down. Okay, you're 2 down, because Jame also feeds. But you could well have had your Orisa stabilize here, right? Put your lamp here. Maybe you get another kill, right? You know, your lamp's here somewhere.
Yeah.
Or you decide to reset. That's cool. That's cool too. But if you're going to reset die, you're not going to walk out. So at this point, you're basically staggering yourself. Because they should push this. Or they should kill you as you walk across. Or we just chill here. We just stay here. We don't cross back. Okay, that's a play. They should have probably gone all the way here and just killed you. But never mind.
One more over there.
I thought the Hanzo was
On high.
was coming for me.
He probably
sure.
should have done, right?
One.
This is more like it. Now you're getting hyped up, right? And I can feel it, right? The confidence is building in you. You're now starting to shoot at the enemies. I don't know if you notice it, but this is a big change, right? Because you're feeling the hype now, right? You're feeling that adrenaline rush. You're now like, I'm confident, I'm a man, I'm just gonna kill everything, right? Oh shit. Discord, what are you doing? Hello?
I gotcha.
What the fuck happened there? My
There he is.
Discord restarted? Okay. Did you hear what I said?
I didn't hear. I feel like you said 1 or 2 words right
Okay.
before you cut out.
I was just
sure.
saying that, like, you've really manned up at this point, right? Everyone's hyped, the team's hyped, the adrenaline's now going, and you're basically manning up now.
Mhm.
You're actually shooting at the enemies, which you weren't doing before.
Mm.
And it reflects the state of the game, right? Because now you're on the front foot, you know, now you're winning. Now you're making more aggressive plays, right? But you've got to play like this all the time, right? It can't be it can't be dictated by how the game's going. And in fact, when you're losing, you need to play more like this, right? So you're healing, get some shooting in, right? Shoot. Heal a little bit. Probably should have repositioned with our Orisa here, because now we're in fucking Narnia.
Yeah, I didn't realize. I realized too late that he was going all the way across.
Okay, but it's fine, right? At which point, I'm a DPS now. I'm a DPS on an off angle. Fuck healing. I'm just gonna shoot the shit out of them, right? You're shooting someone that's full HP. Right?
Yeah.
Don't heal him. He's full HP. Shoot this shield. This guy you can't heal. It's a ball. Has this ball ever once stopped for you to heal him? Yeah. Okay, he has. Once. To be fair.
Yeah, there's a mega.
There's a mega up here,
health
right?
pack up there too. So he really
Exactly.
wants
He
heals.
wants heals, he goes here. Sorted. These
Okay.
guys are basically full HP. Just shoot that Orisa shield, right?
Breaking shield.
One Orisa top.
Me?
You could have killed this Orisa shield on your own by now. Right?
Yeah.
Running?
Back one. Point.
How much value did he get from that immo?
Yeah.
And now, how much
yeah,
is it going
this
to
is
hurt
crazy.
when they dragon the shit out of you and you will die?
Yes, it's gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Careful, you have no lamp, you have no lamp.
Oh,
Not
me,
here,
me,
but
me, me,
right
me.
after.
Well, it forced you to give up so much space. That was the issue. Right? Because right here, you could have just said, play right side, and you could have lamped here. Right?
Yeah.
And then we don't concede any space, we're all here, we're all in lamp, and you just put your window down, they try and walk into you. There's nothing, they lose, right? They actually lose now, if you make that play. But we wasted our lamp on a ball that was in the middle of the opponent team. And we're gonna get punished for it.
Oh, me.
And this is one of those plays where, as an individual, you could have completely changed the game here, right? They probably would have may-ulted you and killed you anyway. But maybe not. Maybe we would have, okay, maybe we're going to turn the fight anyway.
I wish I would have had lamp there,
Also dead, nice move.
but might have survived. Maybe not. Probably not.
This is really low. We got tick huge.
Climbing?
I have bungo. Come back with bungo. We can beat it immediately when we get it. If we need it. We need to go get this point.
This is maybe a risky swap. Because there are only 3 people on point.
Almost knock. I have bungo. Are we ready to go to
No one, just wait for your ball, wait for ball. I'll be back in like 2 seconds. Okay, we wait for a trick.
I'm taking a high.
Yeah, we should have backed out.
Probably.
This is high.
You need help, they're all coming. You gotta get out.
This,
Probably, but you're going to make a shitload of space being here. I don't know. They've swapped to stall comp actually, haven't they? So,
I'll be back.
because they came back to recontest this.
are we ready to
Right.
go to
No one, just wait for your ball.
So at this point we should have walked out. Yeah, you're
Be
right.
back in like 2 seconds. Okay, we wait for a trick.
I'm taking a high. This is high.
You need help, they're all coming. You gotta get out.
Yeah, this is kind of unfortunate.
Come on on me.
I'll be totally honest, I think in this situation I wouldn't have had the presence of mind to go back either.
Okay, we're out.
But yeah, in hindsight that was the incorrect play, for sure.
Get back. Can't see it again.
He was in our spawn. He was low in our spawn.
Huge. We have
Point?
back on back.
Lagging.
Oh dear.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, the timing
Right,
of that
right,
lag,
right,
dude.
Die for it.
Mid bomb.
Yeah.
Oh, that really hurts.
I got tracer.
Yeah.
I'm touching.
Break right.
It's long. Brick one.
Break. I got both parts. Doom. Got a touch.
Doom
Dig one.
south.
No.
Nice touch.
I got pulled.
It happens.
That's unfortunate.
Jeez.
That could have quite easily gone differently. Couldn't it? That game could have gone either way actually. With a very few changes, right? Like, for instance, if you guys had talked about how you're going to play Anubis before you played it, for like maybe 3 minutes, it would have made quite a big difference. Particularly on your defense.
Yeah, we kind of just went to play whatever you want.
So, following on from that point, what would you say were kind of the key points going there? I think I've got 2 actually.
So kind of need to like, as far as Baptiste play that, like I was there at the end where I'm consistently doing damage. Keep doing that,
Yeah.
whether we're winning or losing. And then get the most value out of lamps instead of wasting them on ball and throwing them in the open.
Yeah. So don't waste your on people who can't be saved, right? I think that's a fair way of putting it, right? Because either they're going to save themselves because they're a wrecking ball and they can go a billion miles an hour, or they're dead.
Yeah.
The other point that I've written, talk about lamp spots before you play a map, right?
Okay.
You need everyone to be on the same page, right? We're going to play here, we're going to use this lamp. If they rotate here, we're going to use this lamp. And then they don't have to think about what they're doing, right? You're not making all of these dynamic plays and everyone's not on the same page, right? Because at this point, and this isn't just for you, right? This is how you take a team to the next level, right? Is you turn those 6 people into a team, right? You have a strategy and you execute it. Otherwise, you're just 6 people playing comp, right? You might as well be.
Right.
And it's something that will help you develop as a player too, right? Because you're like, I now know all these great lamp spots and how we can execute a really good strategy. So when you go into comp, you can be like, guys, I'm going to use my lamp on this corner and we're going to play close. And sometimes in a comp game, just that one sentence that you've communicated makes a difference. And a lot of the time, and certainly between 3.7 and 4K, just being the guy that speaks up can make a lot of difference, right? Just saying, this is the strategy we're going to execute. I know it's not quite so bad on NA, because on EU, if you speak, you suddenly like 500 SR higher. But I know people on NA tend to speak a lot more.
Yeah.
Any other points?
I feel like it's a lot of the same.
A lot of it's the same,
same
right?
things.
So, to summarize what we've talked about, being aware of the opponent positioning and avoid being in the LOS, right? And I guess we can kind of also add to that, be aware of flanks before they happen, right? Because there are a few times where you could have got caught out. You weren't, but you could have been. And that will obviously affect your whole positioning, right? Thinking about that will make you think about where you want to play. Remember, you have huge damage output. Don't be afraid to DPS, right? You can heal and DPS simultaneously, so you have to be doing that consistently. Using lamp to mitigate opponent aggression. You can't use the lamp if you're dead, right? And if they're forcing onto your team, you have to use your lamp to hold that position. You can't just walk backwards, because the distance between 2 corners, between one piece of hardcover and the next, is way longer, right, than it takes them to kill you. So once you're out a piece of hardcover, if the opponents are trying to push that, you should be using your lamp to hold it. Using your crouch jump to scout, right? Talking about the lamp spots before the map, and this will really help with a lot of those other things, right? If you're like, we're playing this corner, we're holding it, you already know that you're going to lamp it when they try and push it. You don't have to think about it. And yeah, don't waste your lamps on people who can't be. If there's a Doomfist or a Bull in the middle of the enemy team, no point wasting your lamp, because they can't just stand there and wait for it, right? Lamp is only useful on a static object, on something that's not going to move, like an Orisa that stood on a corner. Don't waste it on anyone that's going to move anyway, right? It's kind of as simple as that.
Mobility.
It's all about holding a location, right? Not about taking them necessarily. Although it can be, if they're giving you a corner for free, yeah, maybe. Okay. Do you have any other questions? Otherwise, I'll end the recording there if you have anything else to say. Okay.
No, I think that's it.